Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. We welcome us to another edition of the free Nahw and Sorfu class, and this is Nahw class 65. And it is from the reference book Nahw al-Wadi, the second part, Al-Juz al-Thani. And the topic is Al-Adawatul Lati Tayzimu Fi'lain. That is the tools that give jazm to two verbs in the sentence. So it says الأدوات التي تجزم فعلين 12 أداة, that there are 12 tools. There are 12 tools that give jazm to two verbs. In, that is the first one, wa idma wa huma harfan. So in and idma are both harfu, that is they are harfu, they are particles. Wa man wa ma wa mahma wa mata wa ayyana wa aina wa anna wa haythuma wa kayfama wa ayyun jami'uha asma'un. So those ones I've mentioned now, man, ma, mahma, mata, ayana, aina, anna, haythuma, and kayfama are all nouns. So those are the tools that give fi'l mudari' jazm. Two fi'l mudari' in the sentence, jazm. So let's move to the examples. So here we have examples on two of those adawat. We mentioned 12. We've taken example in before in previous classes. Now we have example of man and ma in the examples we have in this chapter. We have examples of man and ma. So firstly is that the man here is called okay, let's take it from the meaning. Let's take the examples, then we take the meaning, and we deduce what each of these tools, what they denote in the sentence. That is what they mean. So we have man yufrit fil akli yatkham. So the meaning is whoever, when we say man means who generally. So in this context, it means whoever does excessive in eating yet home will have indigestion. So literally, that's just the literal meaning. So the meaning is whoever eats excessively will have indigestion. So here we have afroto, the film madi of this yufrit. The mudorion yufrito. So when man enters into it, it gives it sukun. Not any kind of man. It has to be a specific man. So the man we are looking at here is man ashartiya, the man of condition. So that man is the tool that gives two mudorium sukun, that is, that gives two mudorium jasmine. So man yufrit fil akli. So the first verb it gives jasmine is yufritu. The jasmine states it turns the last letter, it changes the vowel and the last letter into sukun. So majzumun is sukun. Yufrit fil akli. Yatkham. Takhama yatkham. That is, we have indigestion. So in the statement, you are going to have one of the verbs taking sukun become a conditional verb. Then the other one will become the response or the reward of that condition. So man yufrit, that's the condition. Whoever yufrit fil akli eats excessively. Then what's the reward or the response? Yatkham, we have indigestion. So man will give the two verbs jasmine, and the statement will be conditional. So we have the first verb that comes after the tool will become the word conditional verb. Then the one that comes after, the last verb, will become the response or the reward of the condition. So that is the first one. The second example, man yat'ab fi sigharihi. Ta'iba, yat'abu, yat'ab. That is the first verb that is given jasm by man. Whoever strives fi sigharihi, in his young age. Yatamatta. That's the jasm form of yatamatta. The ain is supposed to take the more. So, but because man has entered upon it, has given the first verb yet jasm, making it the conditional verb, then yatamatta becomes its response. Yatamatta fi kibari, or the reward. So the meaning, whoever strives in his young age, yatamatta fi kibari, will enjoy in his old age. Man yajtanib adhan nasi yanju fi adahu min adahu. Ijtanaba yajtanibu yajtanib man yajtanib adhan nas. Whoever abstains from harming people, yanju min adahum, will be safe from their harm. So ijtanaba yajtanibu yajtanib. That's the first one. The conditional verb, the fi'l shout. Then we have the jawab shout here. Yanju from naja, nun, jim, and alif. Naja. Mudori, we have yanju. Majum hasfi harfi al-illa. So the wow that elongated the jim will be removed. That's the harfi al-illa. So the i'rab will be what? Majum bi hasfi harfi al-illa. So man yajtanib adhan nasi yanju min adahu. Whoever abstains from harming people will be safe from their harm. Man yusafir tazdad tajaribuhu. Man yusafir tazdad tajaribuhu. Whoever travels, his experience will increase. Whoever travels, his experience will increase. So safaro yusafiru, yusafir. That's the majum form of the verb. Izdada yazdadu, is tazdadu, tazdad. You know we have tazdadu. The dal is supposed to take sukun, then we have tazdad, but we can't have two sukuns together. The elongation is sukun, the dal is also taking, it's not possible. So we remove the weaker one, which is the elongation. So that's why we have tazdad. So the fi'l shout, the constitutional verb is yusafir, and the what? The response, the jawab. Jawab shout is tazdad. So man yusafir, whoever travels, tazdad tajaribu. His experiences will increase. So experience here is tajaribu, the plural. The singular is what? Tajribatu. So man yusafir, tazdad tajaribu. So don't forget, this man is called man ash-shartiyya. There are also other types of man. So this man here that gives fi'l mudari, two fi'l mudari jazm, is called what? Man ash-shartiyya. So it's going to provide us with fi'l shart and jawab shart. Fi'l shart is the first verb that takes the sukun, that serves as the condition, and the jawab is the result or the words or the response or the reward of that condition. So that's for man. So from the examples that we have cited, now we can say that man is only used for people, for akil, for things with intellect. So it's just people. So man is used for akil. Then the other example we have here, we have ma, which is used for ghayru akil. Ma is used for what? Ghayru akil. Ghayru akil is what? Things without intellect, that is objects. So this example we have ma tadakhir min malika yanfa'ak. The first verb iddakharo yadakhiru. When jasmu comes upon it, it becomes tadakhir. So ma tadakhir min malik. Whatever you save in your money, yanfa'aka, will benefit you. So nafa'a yanfa'u. Yanfa', when jasm comes upon it, the doma on the ain becomes sukun. So ma tadakhir min malik, whatever you store or save in your money, yanfa'ak, will benefit you. So the idakharo, tadakhir, that is a conditional verb, fi'l shart. Then the reward or the response for the verb is what? Yanfa'uk. So just like man that we've mentioned earlier, ma is also ma ash-shartiyya. There are also other types of ma, but this ma that we are talking about, that gives two fi'l mudari sukun, that gives two fi'l mudari jazm, is called what? Ma ash-shartiyya. Then the second example, ma tudajji min waqtik tandam. whatever you waste in your time, tendam alayhi, you will regret it. You will regret over it. Whatever you waste in your time, from doya'a, you doya'un. Doya' to doya'. So the ma has given it what? Has given jasmine. So whatever you waste, may work take in your time, tendam, nadima, yendam. Jasmine has also come upon it. So tendam alayhi, you will regret over it. So you have the fi'l shart to doya', the jawab tendam. And the ma is what? Ma ash-shartiyya. Ma ash-shartiyya. So the next one we have ma tutlif taghram thamanahu. Whatever you destroy or spoil, taghram thamanahu, you will pay fine for its value. Thamanu, the value. Taghram. Taghramu is what he is paying fine or he will pay fine. So ma tutlif, whatever you destroy, taghram thamanahu. So how are we going to recognize our verbs? Because they are taking sukun, they are singular verbs, they are singular sound verbs. So the sukun they take here shows us that what they are already in the jasmine state. So we have two verbs taking sukun here, telling us that the ma has done its job, giving to two fi'l mudari jasmine. Then last example, ma tunfiq fil khair tujza bih. Ma tunfiq fil khair tujza bih. Whatever you spend in goodness, anfaqa yunfiqu. Then ma gives it what? Jasmine. Tunfiq. Ma tunfiq fil khair. Whatever you spend in goodness, tujza bih. Tujza is from tujza, which is what? Fi'l mudari for majhul. Fi'l mudari for what? For majhul, not ma'lum, not the normal verb we have. So the jasmine for that is removing the elongation after the zayu. Harful illa. Tujza is this yeah. There is this alful maksura in front of zayu in the verb. Tujza. So when ma comes upon it, the ya or the alif al maksura is removed, is cleaned. The elongation is what is cleaned. So we say what? Mujzumun bihadfi arf al-illa. How do we know that? Because that zayu is taking fatha, not sukun. So it's telling us that there is something after it that we've removed. So ma tunfiq fil khayr, whatever you spend in goodness, tuzabi, you will be rewarded for it. So this is just two of the 12 verbs I've mentioned. And I said verbs, the 12 tools that gives jasmine to two verbs simultaneously. So this is just two of them. Man, which denotes whoever. For what? For people. The ma, which denotes what. That is for what? For ghayru akil, for object, whatever. So both of them are called what? Man ashartiya and ma ashartiya. They produce what? Two majzum of fi'l mudari. The first one serving as the conditional verb, the second one serving as the response or the reward to the conditional verb. So let's go to the explanation of where they told us the other parts, the other tools that give two mudari simultaneously jasmine. So the first one we have here, we have izma, wahia ka'in to feed the shout. He said it's just like in, it denotes condition. The work of in, when in comes into a sentence, it gives two verbs jasmine, just like ma and man has done. But its meaning is going to come in form of condition, also like ma and man. But it's going to be if. For example, we have izma tef'al sharron tendam. So it says izma is like in. So if we replace izma with in, we have the same meaning. So we can say in tef'al sharron tendam. So what would be the meaning? If fa'ala yaf'alu, tef'al, that's taking jasmine. If you perform or if you do, fa'ala means to do, to perform an action. So izma tef'al sharron, if you do a bad deed, if you perform a bad deed, tandam, you will regret. That is the reward or the response of the condition, which is if you do. So izma does the work of in a conditional statement. So the meaning will be if. So nadima yandam tandam. Idma taf'al sharron tandam. If you do a bad deed, you will regret. Then the second one we have mahama li ghayri akil kama. So they said mahama is the second one. We've mentioned 2 already. Plus in, that is 3. Isma is the first one here, makes it 4. Then mahama, the 5th one. Li ghayri akil is for non-intellectual things, objects. Kama, just like ma, just like we add ma there, the ma ashartiya that we spoke about in the example. So the function of ma is also the function of mahama. Is for what? For objects. So it denotes whatever. So in this example, it says mahama tunfiq. Don't forget, all of the tools we give your fi'l mudari jazm. So this is not vowelized, so you know that it should be tunfiq. So mahama tunfiq fil khair yukhlifuhu Allah. Mahama tunfiq fil khair yukhlifuhu Allah. So whatever you spend in goodness, Allah will replenish it. Anfaqa yunfiq tunfiq. Whatever you spend in what? In goodness, Allah will replenish it. So mahama is same thing as ma. So you can say ma tunfiq. You have the same meaning. Then the next one we have mata lizaman. Mata denotes time. So instead of having whoever or if or whatever, for mata, which denotes time, you have whenever. So you have mata yusafir, from safaro yusafiru yusafir. That's the first verb that is taking what jasmine. Mata yusafir akhi yusafir ma'ahu. So when it means what? Whenever my brother travels, I'll travel with him. So usafiru takes jasmine to become usafir. That's the word response or reward for the word conditional statement yusafir. Conditional verb. So mata yusafir akhi. Whenever my brother travels, usafir ma'ahu. I'll travel with him. Ayana also lizaman, also for time. So you can say when this example that we have mata, we can put ayana there, is same meaning. So we can say ayana yusafir akhi yusafir ma'ahu. So for the example we have here, ayana tunadi ajibka. Ayana tunadi ajibka. So ujibka. So we have ayana tunadi from nada yunadi. So in this verb we also we remove the harful illa, the elongation coming after that. So ayana tunadi, whenever you call, ujibka, I will answer you. So this is from ajaba yujibu, ujibu, ujibu. You can see there's one letter missing, the ya of elongation coming after jim. So this ba is taking sukun. The ya is also a form of sukun. 2 sukuns cannot meet. That is why that ya is removed. So we have ayana tunadi ujibka. Whenever you call, I will answer you. The first one is mujzumu bihasfi arif al-illa, and the second one is what? Mujzumu bisukun. So those are the 2 verbs that were given jasmine by ayana. Then the next one we have aina. Aina is for what? For place. Lil makan. Aina is for place. So instead of having if or whoever or whatever or whenever, we have wherever, because it's for place. So aina tadhhab, wherever you go. Aina tadhhab, wherever you go. Ashabk. Sahiba yashabu. Ashabu. So when aina comes in, it gives it sukun. You have ashabka. So wherever you go, I will accompany you. Then the next one, also for place, anna, anna. So in place of aina, we can put anna. We are going to get the same meaning. So the example here we have anna yanzil zul ilmi yukram. Nazala yanzilu. Yanzil, because anna is coming to give it jasmine. So wherever a person with knowledge or a knowledgeable person, wherever anna is used for makan, wherever it descends or wherever it gets to or wherever it goes, yukram, he will be honored. That is the response for the conditional statement. Then aithuma also for makan. So in place of aina and anna, if you put aithuma, you get the same meaning. So aithuma yanzil motorun yammu zar'a. Wherever it rains, yammu zar'a, plants grow. Wherever it rains, plants grow. So nama, yammu, nun, mim, and alif. In Mudori, you have yammu, nun, mim, and wow. Mudori. So the wow is removed when Jasmu comes upon it. So we have yammu. So whenever it rains, yammu zara. The first one takes clear sukun that we can see. The second one is what? Muzumu bihasfi harfil illa. Then we have kayfama lil hal. This is for kayfama for mannerism, for the manner the manner in which the verb was performed. So kayfama, however, how was it performed? The manner. So that is what kayfama to feed. That is what it denotes. So كيفما تعامل صديقك يعاملك. However you relate with your friend. However you relate with your friend, يعاملك is going to relate with you. So we have amala, yu'amilu, yu'amilu. Then the Jasmine gives it yu'amil, tu'amil, yu'amil. Then the last one we have ayu, 12th tool. This ayu is a tool that does the work of every other tool. تسله لجميع المعاني المتقدمة. It is sound for every meaning that we've mentioned. So مثالها أي بستان تدخل تبتهج. أي بستان تدخل تبتهج. So whichever garden you enter, you flourish. So ayu can perform the work of in. We can say instead of isma, in and isma, because they are both for sharp. So instead of saying isma or in tef'al shadron tendam, we can say ayu shadrin tef'al tendam. So we can put ayu in every of the meanings that we've taken in the other tools. So ayu takes every meaning. But what differentiates is the context. So how will you know, okay, is this same time or place, or the context will tell you what the ayu will denote. So these are the 12 tools that are used to give two mudari in a sentence simultaneously sukun, and it turns the sentence into a conditional statement. So we have the conditional verb and the response to the verb. So let's go over the tools again. We have man ashartiya that denotes whoever, and we have ma ashartiya because there are different kinds of ma and different kinds of ma. So and we have ma ashartiya that denotes whatever. So whoever obviously is for people, whatever for objects. Then isma has the same function as in that denotes if. Then we have mahama which has the same function as ma that denotes whatever. We have mata lizaman for time, that is whenever. Same thing as ayana, whenever. Then we have aina, which denotes what? Place. That is easily denotable because we have aina means where. So aina will mean what? Wherever. Same thing as anna and haithuma. So it denotes what? Wherever. Then we have kaifama, which is for mannerism. It denotes what? However. Then the last one, ayu, which can denote any of the meanings we have mentioned above. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us understand it more than has been delivered. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.